Okay, so I want to know more about like how was the starting part of your journey? Because starting is always the hardest part, right? Getting your first client is hard because you don't have experience, don't have any reputation. So how was that like?
Okay, so my first few months. Okay, yeah, you're right lah. So my first few months it was quite weird because I think I was just learning the ropes lah. So as mentioned earlier, I said that this thing was really a lot on the job.
Yeah.
So but usually your first few appointments, your manager, your mentor will be there to help you out also lah. Yeah, but
like the person goes with you, the manager goes with you.
Correct. I think it's also one of the regulations. Yeah, it's one of the regulations to in industry also. Okay, don't quote me on this. Not sure if that's the thing, but I guess it's also because end of the day, our job requires it's a lot on financial information and stuff. Yeah, I mean, over the years there was some news about mis-selling and all that stuff also. So I guess this is probably just one of the regulations they have in place to ensure that there's a process, it's regulated and stuff. Yeah, so your manager will tag along. So I think in like initial maybe like first 3-4 months, like I was still learning. Like every appointment that I had was really different. In a sense, and I think if you can relate this to like preparing for examinations lah, like I'm sure no one really is fully prepared for any examinations out there, no matter how many hours you're clocking. Yeah, so there are bound to be certain things that may be unexpected. So I kind of learned on the job most of the things. Yeah, so because at the end of the day, like in this industry, when you meet someone, right, they can be similar to you, they can be different to you, they can be younger than you, older than you, they can be local, they can not be local. So like I mean that's the beauty of this thing, like, you know, get to meet different people that I mean most of my experience, like what you said, when I started out, if you were to ask me to speak to some 40-year-old guy that has been working for 20 plus years and probably in his industry for quite some time, and also probably it's not his first job, second job, and even it's his first job, he probably has progressed up the corporate ladder quite some time lah. So in a sense it's rather intimidating also. Yeah, it's like, come on, I mean you're not it's your kind of first job, okay, and like you don't really have much information, no experience. Why should I? Because in this industry it's about
the trust
also lah. Yeah, you're absolutely correct, trust. And like why should I trust you to manage my personal finances and stuff also? Yeah.
So how do you kind of like overcome that at the start?
Correct. At the start, okay. I mean, first few time I kind of like shit, like stumble lah and stuff. But I mean,
people actually said these things to you, like why should I trust you? Okay.
I mean, even though some say, but I mean nowadays I think people they're very nice about it lah. So they ask questions, but you can feel it. Yeah, it's quite, you can feel it that they have some reservations about you also.
Yeah, I see.
So how I overcame it is like, I mean, so this is when your mentor comes into play lah. So like I guess nowadays in today's world, like especially in our generation, we tend to like this idea of a mentor.
Seems like it.
Because it's someone that we can learn from, and I think, okay, not just learn from, but the mentor can also learn from you lah. So it's like a two-way kind of thing. So especially in this industry, I think the importance of a mentor is there lah. It's very high. Because at the end of the day, like you can enter industry, but your mentor is not really there for you. If you have questions, he's not there, then it may be really hard lah. So sense. That's when I approach. Because I'll always do check-ins with my mentor and stuff, so he will be there lah, give me advice. So earlier I mentioned also, because he has been working in this industry since he was undergrad, so obviously he also has such experience before lah. So some of the things that he shared with me, then one thing about being inexperienced is actually good. Okay, let me rephrase that. Being inexperienced has its good points also. Yeah. And why I say that, right, is because your ability to absorb new information is better in the sense that because you don't know anything, right? So when you learn things, you
won't have bias.
correct. You don't have a bias, correct. So it's like a cup lah.
Yeah.
If you were to fill a cup with water, right, is it easier to fill an empty cup or a cup with water? So obviously it's an empty cup lah.
Yeah.
Because if you have to fill a filled cup with water, you have to empty the cup first.
Yeah.
Yeah. So being experienced, it's not bad. It's not a bad thing, you know. It's good because you actually can absorb better. And if you have experienced like what you said earlier lah, you may have some certain bias and stuff, which also may or may not be a bad thing also.
Yeah.
Yeah. So secondly, he also mentioned you can be inexperienced, but doesn't mean that you won't be able to still talk to the person, because I think there's one thing that I learned is about sharing stories. Yeah, because you don't necessarily need to have the experience, but the experience can be shared based off what other people share.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, so it's like storytelling lah.
Yeah.
So because in our agency we have colleagues, you know, some of them, they are in the industry for 20 over years. So naturally they'll have stories to share. So I mean, for me, being experienced, I don't have much stories. So one thing that sometimes I like to do is to leverage on what my colleagues have shared and pay it forward lah. Share these stories with the people I meet also. So that's another way to ensure that, you know, you go there, you at least you have something to talk about also.
Of course. Yeah.
So these are some of the things that would help. I mean, if you're inexperienced, I think inexperience is honestly not a bad thing lah. Yeah, I think you have to firstly know that you are not very experienced and don't
try to learn.
Yeah, try to learn and be very open-minded lah. I mean, not just in this line. I think in life in general, you need to be very open-minded, and not be open-minded in the sense that don't let what people say like kind of like, how to say,
influence the way you see. Yes.
It's like, okay, not really influence, but like don't be too affected by what they say lah. Because everybody has their own perspective, and there's a reason why they say certain things. Yeah, and why they say certain things is probably because of what their upbringing, their experience also. Yeah, so that's one thing that I've learned over the past few years is you really need to be open-minded lah. Yeah, because if you are just fixated on your own thinking, it's very hard for you to not really very hard to live in this way. You can still live in order, but it may not be very easy for you to go far, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah, because in life there's no hard and fast rule to live your life lah. It's like it's all about perspective. Yeah, like some people prefer coffee, some people prefer tea, but if you hate the people that prefer tea and your coffee lover, then it's like it doesn't really make much sense lah. Then what was I talking about before the open-minded thing?
About inexperience.
Okay. You need to be open-minded, and also you need to know that you are inexperienced lah. Because if you tell yourself that you are experienced, people can sense it lah. Through the things that you say.
Okay.
Yeah. Then I guess also cause I think maybe in this client-facing role, because you can meet people, some people tend to be very afraid that they might make mistakes.
Right.
And because end of the day in this industry we also have products and questions that clients will ask you, and you need to answer them also lah. Then being inexperienced would mean that there will be some questions that you may not have encountered before. And sometimes you'll be like, oh shit. Okay, but one thing about being experienced is like sometimes you just have to be honest and say, wow, that's a very good question. I actually don't have the answer to you right now, but let me go back and check and get back to you. Yeah, I think
this sounds more like responsible because you don't want to
correct
say the wrong thing.
Correct. Responsible. And people actually value honesty lah. Yeah, and cause end of the day, like in a client-facing role, like people take your words for it also.
Yeah.
So you don't want to be too loosely making things up, and as a result, those can result in some repercussions that will come and haunt you back in years later. Yeah. So people actually value honesty. Yeah. And even though you are very experienced, there are still some questions that an inexperienced consultant may not know how to answer. So, because end of the day, like in this industry, there are a lot of, it's a very on the ball thing. Like it's a very dynamic environment. Things changes, especially like insurance product change. How everything changed. It changed also. So even though you'll be very on the ball about all these changes, there are still some things that even an experienced consultant would not be aware of it lah. So I guess being open-minded and being frank about all this at the start really helps you. Yeah,
I think that's some good advice for like inexperienced people.
Correct.
Because like, a lot of people see that as a weakness. Okay. So how was it like when you clinched like your first deal? Like how did you get there? Like what did you do like cold calling or how was it like?
Okay. So probably a bit background myself. Like I understand that the what's that word? The stigma about this industry is not very great out there.
Yeah.
But over the years, I think it is improving lah.
Yeah.
People are really getting more and more open-minded. Oh Lord, what I say about open-minded. And they are more receptive about listening to all this also lah. For myself, even though you can approach your friends and families, all those, but I didn't really felt comfortable doing that lah at the start. Because like, okay, this one is again, there's no hard and fast rule. Every consultant has their own way of doing it. Some prefer their warm market and stuff, but for me, I started out in the cold market lah.
Wow. So you chose consciously to do the cold market first.
Correct. Because end of the day, like if you approach like your friends and stuff, cause in this industry, the turnover rates are very high lah. You might be in it for 2 years, then for some reason, you're not in this industry already. So I didn't want to, cause I think at the start also inexperienced also. Like I didn't want to approach them, because I didn't really felt comfortable with myself. Yeah, I wanted to start practice and get the hang of it before approaching them lah.
Yeah.
And it's also because like I mentioned, the turnover rates are very high in this industry. So I wanted to show them like, oh wow, Ben is actually has been progressing well, doing well so far.
Or before you approach
correct.
the warm market.
Yeah, which kind of worked out for me. So across the years, like even up to now, I still focus on cold market also. But along the years, that's when some of the warm market they approach me lah to find out more about it, which I think is quite impressive.
Yeah, this quite cool. It's like very long. It's like quite a long-term play, right? Because you don't like immediately go and use that.
Yeah, correct. So it's, how do I say? It's a lot on like staying on top of the mind of people lah. Yeah, because when in this industry, when I mean you guys have probably saw like there were a lot of like memes and stuff. Insurance starter pack. When your friend calls you and asks you to meet for coffee. Yeah, I can understand why it's so relatable and stuff also. That's why I don't really like.
You don't be that guy.
Yeah, cannot really don't be that guy. I think that there's nothing wrong with that guy.
Yeah.
That's the hard fact about this industry is sales.
Yeah.
You have to do it to get cases lah.
Yeah.
You have to do it. Yeah, but for me, like I think also because I'm still an undergrad, so I don't place so much emphasis on myself to need to rush to close deals and stuff. So for me, and also because like I'm a very relational kind of person lah. So I like to be friends with people and stuff, then build momentum and stuff also. Yeah, cause for me, I see myself in this industry for maybe in the next 20, 30. I do have very strong inclination to stay in the industry for long.
Nice.
So I guess the value of building relationships is there for me.
Yeah.
Cause end of the day, you can be a very good consultant, but there are still some people that still don't want to be your clients.
Right.
Yeah, but also along the years, I think something that I've learned is not everyone, you shouldn't take everyone to be your client.
Right.
I mean,
yeah, you mentioned this to me before.
yeah, cause okay, so this one is in the context of, because maybe some consultants they like to target like, everybody, but for myself, I've learned that it's not just us that it's not just us. Okay, wait, let me rethink how I phrase this. Okay, not everybody is like meant to be your clients, because
Right.
End of the day, if they are your client, you are responsible for them,
Yeah.
and if they have questions, they'll look to you.
So,
So for example, if there might be certain clients that may not be very, because we have all different personalities, right? Yeah. So there might be some clients that may require more how do I phrase it, like servicing.
Yeah.
So they demand like more, they make more requests and stuff, which unfortunately sometimes when I'm studying, I'm unable to cater to such requests.
I see.
Yeah. So I mean, I sit down and think to myself, do I want this person as my client and stuff? So yeah, because I think maybe some people they like to have a lot of clients, but like when it comes to the servicing part, it may be a bit difficult for them to service each and every one of them.
Right.
So for myself, I rather have like quality contacts that because most of my clients, I think I'm relatively close to them.
Yeah.
So when it comes to doing business, it's easier.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, cause you don't want any like Tom, Dick, Harry to be your client, because at the end of the day, like if a certain profile, like if you have a certain profile to be your clients, then your clients are also like a representation of who you are also.
Yeah.
So honestly, no right, no wrong. It's just my personal preference and take on this.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay.